artistic coffins, children with names from the day they were born, rich culture, Ghana is undoubtedly a fascinating country, and on top of that, it holds vast natural wealth. And that's not all. Many more astonishing facts about Ghana remain to be discovered in this video. Let's go to Ghana and discover this amazing West African country in 10 interesting facts. And before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new video. Let's get into it. The Ashanti people are a majority people in Ghana. The Ashanti are a majority ethnic group of the Akans, Ashanti and Fanti in Ghana, with a population of over 2 million. Ghana is fairly a new nation. Just over 50 years old, it was previously called the Gold Coast. The Ashanti people have always been known as fierce fighters. The people of this tribe have a slogan: "If I advance, I die. If I retreat, I die. Better to go ahead and die." When the Ashanti tribe faced war, they used drums to signal the coming battle. The beating of these drums could be heard through the dense forest. The Ashanti have a special handshake in which you hold your left hand to shake hands. This comes from the Ashanti explanation that the left hand holds the shield and the right hand holds the spears. So to show someone your confidence, you put down your shield and therefore have your left hand free. For the Ashanti, the family and the mother's clan are the most important. It is said that a child inherits the soul or spirit of the father, and a child receives flesh and blood from the mother. This connects them more closely to the mother's clan. The Ashanti live with an extended family. The family lives in different houses or huts arranged around a courtyard. The head of the family is usually the older brother who lives there. The elders choose him. He is called either father or father of the house and is obeyed by all. The Ashanti are known for their expertise in variety of specialized crafts. These include weaving, wood carving, ceramics, the famous Kente cloth, and metallurgy. Babies are named after the day they were born. Babies born in Ghana have a permanent name based on the day they were born. An Ashanti may decide to skip their child's day name and choose a different day name. This often happens when they give the child the name of a special someone, hero, friend, or business partner. They often adapt that person's full name. For example, a parent who lived in Kumasi named their child after the first president of Ghana. The child was born on Tuesday, but his name was Kwame Nkrumah instead of Kwabena Nkrumah. This tradition of practice is common among the Ashanti. Other names given to babies reflect the beliefs, wishes, or preferences of the parents. The baby has no say in this matter. However, as the child grows up, she or he may decide to reject the name the parents gave them and choose their own. There are many ways to give babies a last name. The most common is for the father to give the baby his last name. As said above, the father can also name the baby after a hero, special friend, or business partner. Most of the names given to babies have meaning. No one chooses a name that means nothing or has no meaning. Sometimes names are given by witch doctors to parents who consult them to resolve their childbirth problems. When the problems are resolved, the witch doctor gives the child a name. Some people think or believe that certain names, by their definitions, carry bad luck and quite often curses. Things may not turn out well for those with such names. Multilingual society. Ghana is a multilingual country with over 80 ethnic languages spoken by people from different tribes in the country. However, English is the official foreign language due to its history of colonization. English is used for all daily needs: legal, administrative, official, education, and media procedures and documents. The languages spoken in any ethnic group or tribe are mutually intelligible with the languages of the whole country. This means that a person born in the northern region of Ghana who speaks Dagbani, for example, can understand, although not completely, someone who speaks Frafra because of this mutual intelligibility. Languages in Ghana come from various ethnic groups who left their original homes in the past to settle in Ghana. Among the local languages of Ghana, There's, for example, Akans, which is by far the most widespread and spoken language in Ghana. The Akans language includes Fante, Asante Twi, and Akwakwem Twi. These languages are mutually intelligible. In second position, the language Ewe is part of the Gbe dialect, which is said to originate from the Volta Niger region. It is also spoken in Togo and Benin. Mainly spoken in the Volta region, the mutually intelligible branches are Tongu, the language of Sogakope, Adidome, and areas close to Ada. In third position, Dagabani, which is spoken in the northern region of Ghana and is also spoken in Burkina Faso. In Ghana, most of the languages have spread through commercial activities. In fourth position, the Dangme language is one of the Ga Dangme languages of the Greater Accra region. Its sister language is the Ga language. The language Ga is the language you are likely to hear as soon as you land at Accra Airport. The Ghanaian coffin is unique. For the people of Ghana, death is not an end, but a transition to the spiritual realm of their ancestors. In fact, ancestors are forever considered members of the family. It is believed that if the deceased is properly honored, such actions guarantee the spiritual favor of the family that remains on earth. This is how Ghanaians take great pride in making coffins that reflect life, dreams, passions, and the status of the dead in the form of planes, animals, cars, vegetables, fruits, and many more. With Ghana being one of the largest cocoa producers in the world, families in rural areas collect and save their hard-earned money to bury the deceased in custom-made cocoa pods. Caskets cost up to $1,000, a huge sum for farmers, most of whom earn less than $3 a day. Mercedes-Benz style coffins are popular and often intended for a wealthy man who owned the German-made car, and his grave will be dug to fit it. In the case of farmers, their casket is in the style of Chile. It has a symbolic meaning that goes far beyond the life of a farmer. The red color and the spiciness represent the personality of this person. Most people call the works of art fantastic coffins, but they are all locally called Abedu Adekai, which means proverb boxes, simply because there is a symbolic meaning behind every design. Airplanes are also among the most popular models. Built for a child, the coffin in the airplane style symbolizes his successful journey to the afterlife. Sometimes community members contribute to the cost of making a coffin. The coffin designs also aroused the interest of carpentry students in South Korea, Russia, the United States, and Denmark, who came to Ghana to learn the craft. Local carpenters often use simple, handmade tools to sand wood and carve wood into a coffin shape. A very hierarchical society. Ghanaian society is hierarchical. People are respected because of their age, experience, wealth, or position. The elderly are considered wise and are respected. In a group, one can always see preferential treatment for the older member present. With respect comes responsibility, and people expect the older person to make decisions that are in the best interest of the group. Customs are often passed down by the extended family, and customary chiefs are given historical authority over social, family, and land matters. Relationships in traditional society are based on family membership, hereditary status, and ancestral beliefs. In modern society, relationships are determined by acquired status, formal education, membership in professional associations, and ethnic affiliation. The result is that even those who live mainly in modern urban settings remain linked to mainstream society through the kinship system and are held to the responsibilities that such associations entail. An interesting cultural variation among the Akans or the Ashanti and Fanti peoples is that clan affiliation is through women. Mothers have a higher status because, from their perspective, people draw blood from mothers. Additionally, Ghanaians are more indirect communicators. This means they are careful not to relay information in a way that could cause problems, whether it's giving someone bad news, declining an invitation, declining a request, or any other way. Ghanaians always want to protect their face and that of others, as well as maintain harmonious relationships. cuisine with indigenous flavors and external influences. Ghanaian cuisine is a blend of indigenous flavors and influences from outside, such as European and Indian. Ghanaian traditional food is characterized by the distribution of food crops, with the predominance of tropical products like corn, beans, millet, plantains, and cassava. Most ethnic groups creatively use these foods to prepare mouth-watering dishes for their diets. Ghana's food is as diverse as its people, with each ethnic group having their own dish. From coastal towns to savanna regions, one can count about 1,001 different foods that litter the tropical country. However, some foods are known for their delectability and are common to almost all Ghanaians. Tomato-based stews with complex flavors can be found all over Ghana. Stews usually contain a type of marine or freshwater fish and are eaten with a paste which is used to scoop up the fish and soak up the flavorful sauce. The dough, sometimes called fufu or akple, is made from any type of starch, including cassava, plantains, yams, corn, or taro. Another staple in Ghanaian cuisine is jollof rice, a single pot rice dish that includes a variety of Ghanaian spices with tomatoes and chili. Peanuts are often used to flavor stews and garnish dishes. You will also find taro leaves and okra in many dishes. Street food is also an integral part of the Ghanaian culture. Moreover, Ghanaians divide their food into breakfast, lunch, and dinner just like Europeans. While there's a clear distinction between the foods that can be eaten for breakfast, lunch and dinner do not have it. So, what can be eaten as breakfast can also be eaten as supper and vice versa. Kente fabric is their traditional fabric. One of the most lavishly colorful textiles used for clothing is Ghanaian Kente fabric, made by weavers Asante and Ewe. Originally, Kente fabric was black and white, but dyes were developed from different plants and a range of colors evolved. Blue was obtained from the indigo plant, red from dried camwood, brown from Indian tamarind, and green from spinach leaves. With the increase in trade, imported silks and cottons were disentangled to expand the range of colors. Colors convey mood, with dark shades associated with grief and used for mourning ceremonies, while lighter shades are associated with happiness. The symbolic meaning of the Kente is in the patterns. The elephant means royalty, the scorpion means bitterness. The colors of the Ghanaian national flag, red, yellow, green, and black, are popular in modern clothing. In the hand-woven Asante ceremonial fabric, the colors remind Ghanaians of their national identity, but within the fabric, they create a dynamic sense of spatial movement. Orange-yellow squares move forward, and as the lightest tone, yellow sparkles against dark blacks, while red and green zigzag shapes compete against each other. The predominance of angular shapes creates jerky rhythms, making the fabric suitable for use in ceremonies characterized by repetitive drum beats and vigorous dancing. A restful model would be completely out of place in performances that are constructed in dramatic crescendos. When worn by rulers, shiny fabrics attract visual attention, supporting the concept of authority. The yellow gold in the fabric is invariably repeated in the gold badges worn by the ruler. Music has a social function. Music is an essential part of culture in Ghana, which has both cultural and historical components. As in any culture, music has a key role in everyday life in Ghana, but also in the cultural context. The drum is an essential part of the culture and carries stories as well as traditions. Especially on festive occasions, the drummers have an important role and are an important part of the celebrations. The colonial era had an influence on the development of music. Thus, the music of Ghana and Nigeria is more alike than the music of Ghana and neighboring Ivory Coast. Another factor that has dramatically changed music is the process of acculturation and the activity of the church. The preaching was done against African culture, and the culture of the global north was emphasized. This was accompanied by a rejection of local music. The drumming was described as pagan behavior. This resulted in the original music being mixed with that of the North, and so the traditional music changed a lot. Ghanaians have developed their own style of music, which reflects the traditional, well-known and familiar rhythm. One of the styles of modern music that has emerged in Ghana is highlife. Highlife was created by the amalgamation of the music of the global North and the traditional music in Ghana, and consists of a mixture of jazz and different styles of African music. This music was played in high society clubs and bars, hence the name highlife probably. Highlife is considered to be the origin of Afrobeat, which is a mixture of funk and jazz and is often accompanied by percussion. Besides more traditional music, there are also a variety of styles of modern music which essentially shape the daily life of Ghanaians. The film industry is developed in Ghana. Hollywood, Bollywood, and Nollywood are the most recognized film industries in the world. But did you know that Ghana's film landscape is booming? Nicknamed Gollywood by some, Ghanaian cinema is emerging to take its place on the world stage. The first traces of films in Ghana began in the 1920s, when cinemas were built in every city in the country, then called the Gold Coast. The new form of entertainment was originally only available to the country's upper class, but in the 1940s, executives noticed the film's influence on its viewers. It was then that the Gold Coast Film Unit was formed. Small cinemas housed in buses began to flourish across the country, where documentaries, news and government information were shown to the public. The film company also promoted films to encourage developments in the fields of health, life and human cooperation. Decades later, Ghanaian cinema continues to be a major player in African cinema. Hundreds of popular films are produced each year, including the 2018 classic Kojo's Barrier and the timeless love story Silver Rain. International film companies are starting to take note of the Ghanaian film landscape, which was evident with Beasts of No Nation, a Netflix film shot in Ghana and starring Idris Elba. Football or soccer is a national pastime in Ghana. In Ghana, football is a way of life. People play, talk, and watch football with great passion. Football is often seen as a political tool to unite and entertain the masses. It has its own culture in Ghana and dates back to colonization. The level of enthusiasm for the game, and especially when their home teams win, is so great that they can promote nationalism and multicultural existence. Ghana is one of the most successful African nations in the sport of football. Sport has become a favorite pastime for all ages on the streets and in the field. Football was first introduced to Ghana in 1903 by a group of students from the Cape Coast Government Boys School. The game has become a favorite example in Ghana and has spread across the country. In 1911, the football club Accra Heart of Oak was founded, and it is one of the oldest and most famous football clubs in Africa. At the 2010 FIFA World Cup, Ghana was the only African country to reach the quarterfinals and the third African country to make it in the quarterfinal in FIFA history. Football has become more open to women in recent decades. Ghana established their national women's football team in 1989. However, women's football has not enjoyed the same enthusiasm as men's football in Ghana. So, among all these facts, are there any that you already knew before watching this video? And which ones impressed you the most? Let us know in the comments. With that, folks, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave us a like. See you soon in our new videos.